We are back with the eye infection, and this time in Alex's cave, and we're gonna infect every single cave to see what's gonna happen. And this is gonna be our last single video with the eye before returning to our classic for infection in environment. I'm not sure how to call this series, it's just whatever. Not sure how it's gonna work. Let's put a tree, a stage 3 tree, and okay, here we go. Right off the bat, there's gonna be a bunch of mobs. I don't know if they can turn the animals, the dinosaurs here. I guess so. Okay, well, not if it dies. Okay, so is it the tree that caused the lightning? Oh my god, this is... Oh, that's trippy. Whoa. With the shading. Wow, okay, whatever. Yeah, okay, there's gonna be a lot of mobs. If it's too laggy, I'm gonna shut off mob spawning, but for now, all we gotta do is wait. And at this speed, it's gonna take a couple of hours. So, we're gonna put the random tick speed to 200. This could lag the game, but at the same time, it infects, at least. So, yeah, here we go. There it is. Each tree has a limit on how far they can infect, so we're gonna have to place more than one tree if we want to at least get a good sense of the infection in this biome. And somehow, these guys have a hard time dealing damage. Okay, yeah, they're lagging like crazy. It was bound to happen, but it's infecting, so we're gonna be back once everything in this cave is infected. Here we go. Alright, so this took less long than I thought. There's continuous lightning, and it keeps saying the eyes grow restless. I guess it does for every single tree that they're here, but I've done it quite a big size of the cave, and most of everything is infected. It's weird how their size is limited, but as soon as you place another tree, it just keeps on growing. So for example, here you can see there's a hard line, and if I place a tree probably here, I believe. Yeah, look at this. It activates the tick for this here. Oh, I reduced the tick speed. So let's put it to 200. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's so weird. It reactivates the tick speed, even if it's not connected to the ice soil coming from this tree. That's a nice way to do it. Don't know if it's good for the performance of the game, but it's a nice concept. Anyway, moving on to the next cave. And we're now in the Forlorn Hollow, where eyes are already peering through the ground. Well, we're gonna put more eyes here. So, let's infect this whole place and see how it turns out. And alright, the whole Forlorn Hollow is now fully infected with the eyes. Let's see how it looks without the night vision. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's even spookier when you step in the darkness effect. It would have been great if the eyes were a bit more glow in the dark, so you could see a bit more the eyes in the darkness. I guess you can still see them, but it's not as peering. Well, it still pretty spooky seeing this like that. Like this here, when it becomes gray. Let's try to get it again. This here. This is a really nice effect. Anyway, red flashbang. Let's move on to the next cave. And we're now in the magnetic cave, and I think we found quite a unique magnetic cave. I've never seen one in a ravine like this that goes all the way up. It's normally these pockets. Of course, there's deep slate here. I don't care. Let's put a night tree, and let's infect this cave. Alright, this again was a pretty quick one. It's fun to bump the tick speed so I can actually infect this very quickly. And as you can see, no crystal is left. It's only a flesh cave, an eye cave. And it even goes outside. This cave connects to the outside, and let's see. We've got a few infection outside that's already, it's spreading so fast. Wow. And one trick I saw while moving around, let's go down here. There's a nice optical illusion. If we go from here, look at the zoom effect. That's pretty cool. Look at that. There's a weird optical effect while you're going down. Well, quite fitting with this infection. I never noticed the pattern on the wall, intertwines and weave together, and sometimes they form like shapes or flowers. Look at that. Because normally you see it like this, but on a flat surface. There's like some repeating pattern and randomness, or like a maze. That's pretty amazing. Anyway, next cave! And we're now in the toxic cave, and I think I found the perfect cave for these kind of video. Normally toxic caves is hard to find a long, sinuous with like acid, structure, everything. And like, look at this cave. I think it's one of the best toxic cave I've found. So of course we're gonna ruin it. Let's go right here. Alright, so unfortunately, the eye doesn't recognize the acid as something not to infect. I thought the mud was coded to like identify liquids and not infected, but I guess only water and lava are excluded. But, well, we're in a toxic cave and it doesn't look like it, because everything is... Oh my god, again with the effect. Everything is now flesh, eyes. Well, up to the limit of the eyes, of course. It's so weird with the green tint. Also, at some place, the lava was like... Not the lava, but the acid was like pouring out. And the infection was like moving upward. I don't think it's gonna infect since all of these are no ticks. But if we place one with ticks, look at that. It's going up the acid. It's so weird. I don't think it should do that. But anyway, let's move on to another cave. Alright, we're now in the abyssal chasm, and I actually have no idea how it's gonna go. Hopefully, water won't turn into the ice soil. It should not. So let's see how it goes when it infects underwater. Let's go. Alright, so this one was a bit awkward to make as, well, they float up. So I had to like put them in a wall so they can stay underwater and infect the whole biome. And as you can see, no foliage is spawning. I was expecting that. But we got some extra infection as the ice biome here is now fully, Stop the lightning! Holy cow! Oh my god, my ears. Alright, this biome here is now fully, eyified? Guys, I need a name for this infection, because we got skulkified, fungified, fleshified. We need something for the eyes. Give me something in the comments, but anyway. Alright, let's hit the glitch just right so we can see what is going on down here, and it's all eyes. And these guys are just floating here on the surface. There's a few of them actually that I missed, and they just went up. But anyway, it's not the most fascinating biome, but the next one's gonna be interesting. And our final destination is here in the candy cavity, where making the tick speed 200 makes the rainbow go crazy. But we're not here to admire the rainbows, we're here to infect the place. Alright, so the candy cavity is now the strawberry cavity. Now I have a hard time not to see these little dots as seeds on a strawberry. Well, okay, there's maybe some parasite in your strawberry. You should not eat that, but this is pretty cool. Like the flashy red goes really well in this normally rainbow biome. It somehow removes the creepiness of the eye infection. It almost looks edible. Anyway, I'm always having fun in these silly videos. I hope you enjoyed too. Let me know in the comments if you have other suggestions. And as always, you're awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.